West War Room Rivals is sponsored by Emporia State Federal Credit Union. Learn more at esfcu.com. Text or call the number 620-342-2336 to get started today. ESFCU is the Shovix banking of choice, federally insured by the NCUA. This episode of West War Room Rivals is brought to you by JBW Solutions Industrial Safety Services, your remote safety partner no matter where work takes you. From the job site to the office, JBW Solutions brings OSHA 10 and 30 training, plus a full lineup of compliance services straight to your screen. Whether you're a small crew or a major operation, they make safety simple, accessible, and effective. Visit jbwsolutionsllc.com to learn more today and stay compliant wherever you are. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to West War Room Rivals. I am your host, Cody. We have a brand new episode for you guys tonight. We have a phenomenal guest, but before we get started, we're going to do our roll call, which is brought to you by Spy Optic. Use code ORANGE20 to get a pair of shades from Spy Optic for 20% off. So, gentlemen, let's do roll call. Shovix, kick us off.
All right. I am Austin, co-host Shovix Sports and the West War Room, and I am representing the Chiefs.
And I'm Corey, also co-host of the Shovix Sports as well as the War Room, and I'm representing the Broncos.
Matt, one of your co-hosts for the War Room and the host of the Orange Crush News 365, representing the Broncos as well.
And I am Cody, as I said at the top of the show, representing the Raiders of the War Room. So let's kick it off. Let's go.
Ball tipped and caught! Oh my gosh! A double deflection! Set up the screen, instead he'll float it over the middle. Jump ball and it's Powers down the sideline. The rookie from Georgia with the game's first goal. Mahomes and one-timer touchdown.
All right, guys, welcome back to the War Room. This episode is brought to you by JBW Solutions, LLC, and also Emporia State Federal Credit Union, as well as Field Optics. Welcome to the War Room. You guys, we have a phenomenal special guest today. I think I can speak for myself that we've got somebody that has been an absolute player from back when he played, and then also just in the history of the Bengals organization. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Even a volunteer legend back at Tennessee. So.
Oh, yeah. Going way back. Are we ready to bring in our special guest?
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So joining us tonight, as we have been promoting the crap out of for the last week, is the 1991 first team All-American, two-time first team all SEC, and then of the University of Tennessee, 1992 NFL Rookie of the Year, and a two-time Pro Bowler in the year 95 and 96. Please welcome to the War Room, Mr. Carl Pickens. Welcome to the War Room, sir. How are you?
I'm good, guys. How about yourself? I'm glad to be here.
And we are so excited to talk to you.
We were pumped, yeah.
And I will say,
How are you doing?
As we were promoting this, like the Bengals fan base and the Tennessee fan base, like we even made a comment, I think 2 nights ago, just the love of both those fan bases that they had for you. Man, that kind of got us kind of fired up and to bring you on here. So hopefully Bengals Nation and the volunteer country shows up and they, support it here in the chat. So without further ado, Cody, I'll let you go, buddy.
Yeah. So speaking of your time in Tennessee, Carl, so really want to know can you describe what it's like playing in Neyland Stadium and that passionate fan base of the Tennessee Vols?
Yeah, I tell you, playing in Knoxville, it's definitely an experience. It's like I never got a chance to play in Super Bowl, but 100,000 people, orange and white, just have your back. It's electric. It's, I guess it can be intimidating for, some of the opposing teams, but there's, I don't know that there's anything that's close to that I've been able to experience just around that many people, and being and that group being on your side is just, it's phenomenal.
So with that, when you're playing days, have you been to a game there recently? And is there like any changes? Because obviously, the way college sports works now, they keep up to date and they update and renovate facilities and stuff. So can you maybe walk us through some of maybe the changes that they've made over the years?
Yeah, sure. I was just there this past weekend. I went up to watch the guys practice, and the facility alone is unbelievable. I mean, the progress that they've made since I left in '92. There's definitely more buildings, more housing, more things for students to do on campus. You really don't even have to leave. I mean, they have everything that you could imagine on campus within walking distance. So you don't even have to go out into the city if you don't want to. Again, like I said, the facilities, the practice facilities, the indoor facility has been upgraded, the weight room, the training room. I mean, and not only Tennessee. I mean, I'm sure other schools around the Southeastern Conference are doing it as well, but all conferences for that matter. But I'm definitely partial to Tennessee. I think it's probably one of the better places you could go and experience just a football frenzy every home game.
Yeah, no, I've never been personally, but I mean, you can tell just from on TV that that's an atmosphere that, I'm not going to say it's the best of the best, but it's one you're not going to say there's many better than, right? Like it seems unbelievable from afar. So it's good to kind of hear that from your point of view. Sticking on the,
and don't misunderstand me. Like Ohio State, they have a huge fan base. Alabama, Texas, Texas A&M, with the 12th man and that sort of thing. So, every stadium has their own idea of what is great and amazing. I know from Knoxville, just that atmosphere is unbelievable.
oh yeah. And so we'll stick with your college days real quick. And who were one or some of the coaches during your college days who had the biggest impact on you?
First and foremost, it was Johnny Majors. He came to Murphy, North Carolina, recruited me, told me they felt that I could, be an asset to the team if I came there. Gave me an opportunity to play. After he came, Kippy Brown, the receiver coach, came up to Murphy, watched me play basketball, said pretty much the same thing. We think you can play at University of Tennessee. We'd love to have you. At first, it was kind of a hard sell, but at the end of the day, I made the right decision. I went down, was redshirted my freshman year, but after that, I was ready to go. It was a learning process. It was a big adjustment for me, but once I got on my feet and figured my way around the campus and learned what it was like to be away from home and kind of on my own around a new group of guys, after that first year, I was ready to go. But it all had to do with Coach Majors coming to my hometown, again telling me, we think you can play, we'd like to have you. And I just admired him. I thought he was a hell of a guy. He was honest. If he did the right thing and stayed out of trouble, he was your biggest fan. And he was definitely a motivator. He motivated the guys, and you wanted to work hard. You wanted to play hard for him, and for me, that worked out.
Would you say that he kind of like shaped you into the player that you wanted to be, or the person you are today, or?
I think Coach Majors, he had some knowledge and wisdom. He would always say, be 5 minutes early for everything. That lets the people know you're enthusiastic about what you want to do. It lets them know that this task, this job is important to you. He always instilled discipline. Play hard. Play with respect. Play with poise. So those are the things that I learned from him. Coach Brown, the receiver coach, obviously taught us the offense, what it took to be a receiver, how to carry yourself on and off the field. You combine those two guys, and that's where I evolved. I fed from both of those guys.
What was the recruiting process like when you made the decision to go to Tennessee?
Yeah, I only took 2 visits my senior year, Tennessee and then the University of South Carolina. I had actually committed to South Carolina,
Okay.
but earlier in the day, and then I don't know that my mother was real happy about it. I had come home and I told her I had come home after basketball practice, and I was like, "Mom, I'm going to South Carolina." She didn't really say anything, and then she went out and told my dad, and I didn't hear anything. I was like, well, I guess I'm going to Tennessee. So at the end of the day, I say that in fun, but moms know best. At 18, my mom and my dad, they both knew best, but in her heart, I'm the youngest, and I guess she kind of wanted me to stay close to home. So, it worked out. All I can say is, moms know best, and she did at that time, and she still does to this day. But I think, I know now for a fact that, Tennessee was, where I was supposed to be.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty sure my mom's listening to this right now, like waiting to text me, like, yeah, listen to your mama.
Yeah.
Shout out to the moms out there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mr. Pickens, one of the things you were known for in both your college and NFL days is like your explosive playmaking ability, making those tight contested catches. Are there any unforgettable moments or games that stick out to you while you were at Tennessee?
Yeah, I think my freshman year, I had an opportunity to return a kickoff before halftime. We were at LSU, and I think we were down, and it was maybe 30 seconds before halftime. So they kicked it. They tried to squib kick it. I caught it anyway and returned it 93 yards. And then I think we went on to win the game. I'm not sure if we won, but that next week, because they had torched us so much on offense, I mean, they threw for over 430 yards on offense. Our defense, our secondary was banged up. And then from me returning the punt, and I may have had a few snaps on offense, that next week I was moved to defense. I was moved to play free safety for the last 5 games of the season.
Okay.
And somehow that worked out. So that was, I don't know if me returning the punt made him want to move me over, but that was one of the moments I probably will never forget.
That's incredible.
So we like to ask the guys that have been on the show over the last few weeks of the transition from college to the NFL is obviously different. So how did your time at Tennessee kind of shape you to get you kind of mentally prepared for that next level?
Well, when I left Tennessee, I left early. It was definitely a big adjustment for me because the Bengals weren't running the same offense or even similar offense that we ran at Tennessee. So for me, that was a setback. It was still football, but I had a hard time learning our offense. Plus, it was no huddle offense with Boomer Esiason, and there was just code words, and it was hard. It was a big adjustment because, again, I'm in a new city. I've got to find a place to live, and I had held out 2 weeks, so that set me back. And then, just the game. I don't know if you always, guys always say it is faster. I think it is faster on that level. The guys are bigger, faster, stronger, older, more mature. You're playing against grown men. And that was a big adjustment. And then I was thrown in right away. I think after about 5 or 6 games, I started as a rookie. Not sure what I'm doing, but I was out there anyway. And then once after that first year, we had the same offense. I was more comfortable. I knew what I was doing. I knew how to be a pro, to work as a pro, practice as a pro, conduct yourself as a pro. It slowed down a little bit for me.
So Tennessee's had some pretty good receivers over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Peerless Price is one, and then most recently Jalen Hyatt. Is there any Tennessee receivers that you kind of follow as they make the journey into the NFL?
Sure, I followed a lot of guys. Even when I was there, Tim McGee was in the league. I got a chance to play with him. Anthony Morgan, Alvin Harper, Anthony Miller, Anthony Hancock. I mean, these are guys that we had heard about. Willie Gault. So we knew about those guys when we were at Tennessee. And then once I left, you mentioned Peerless Price. You got Joey Kent, Jalen Hyatt. I haven't met him. I got a chance to meet Brew McCoy last year. So you always want to, see who's next. And those guys have definitely had a good group, even before me, after me. They'll continue to have good receivers there. It's a good place to go if you're a receiver.
Yeah, especially with, just how college offenses are now, right? You're slinging it all over the place. You're seeing quarterbacks, especially in the SEC, throwing for, 300, 350 yards and fast pace. So, those are some – I know he's really big on Jalen Hyatt. He was kind of on the short list of wanting the Chiefs to draft him when he was coming out, just based on his style of play and offensive schemes and whatnot. So now as we kind of transition into the Bengals years – what was your first impressions walking into the NFL locker room for the first time?
Well, it was a big shock leaving the Tennessee locker room because we had a really nice facility at University of Tennessee. And then my rookie year, when I got to the Bengals, not so much. It was a little different. I guess close quarters. The practice field was underneath some. I think it was in an industrial area, industrial park or something. There was always this bad smell. So it was a big shock, But at the end of the day, I was happy to be there. I appreciate the opportunity to get to play. You almost have to overlook it because you're a pro now, so this is part of your job. You go to work and do what you have to do. You're under contract now, so I made the most of it. But there was a big difference in the facilities and just the training room. The weight room was a little small, but we made the most of it.
Is there someone who maybe kind of starstruck you at first? Because I know Quentin Jammer last week was talking about Rodney Harrison as he walked in the locker room. So was there someone like that for you?
Yeah, it was Boomer Esiason. He ended up giving me a ride. It was a mini camp, and it was myself, Milt Stegall, and another guy, Marcus Shipp. He was a cornerback. I don't know if we missed the bus or something, but one of the guys asked Boomer to give us a ride back to the hotel. And I didn't say a word. I was just looking at him in the hotel like, this is Boomer. So he's giving me a ride. And he was, he did it. I couldn't believe it was him. I knew it was him, but I'm playing with Boomer Esiason. But he's a cool dude. Took time with me, helped me out a little bit. But, yeah, it was him.
Yeah, the quarterback's always the receiver's best friend, right? It's always got to be
especially when you're a rookie.
Always got to be the
man.
One of my favorite questions I like to ask is, what was your welcome to the NFL moment? Whether it was, was it meeting Boomer? Was there a moment in the game early on where you kind of took a big hit or laid a big hit or anything like that was like, welcome to the NFL?
There's a couple. The third game of the year, we're playing Green Bay, and I returned a punt for 95 yards, and everybody's happy. I'm happy. I'm yelling, screaming. I get to the sideline, and the special team coach says, "Great play, but you're not supposed to catch the ball." I was like, "What?" you talking? It's like you have your, 10 yards, the ball's over your head, you don't catch it. I was like, oh, okay. But I returned. He's like, yeah, but don't catch the ball underneath the 10-yard line. I was like, okay. And then that same year, we were playing Chicago. In Chicago, it was a Sunday night. And I had dropped maybe 2 or 3 balls. And then we're going off the field and the defense is coming on. And our strong safety, Barney Bussey, he's like, catch a damn ball, man. And I was like, that did something to me. I was like, oh, man, I'm letting the guys down. So I guess at the end of the game, I caught the ball. I caught the winning touchdown, spiked it. Bam. That was it. So those 2 things I'll never forget.
That's incredible. So as we know,
like the story of like,
go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, I returned it for a touchdown, but it's like, you're not hearing me. Like, don't move back. And
Don't
that
move
would have been
back.
me. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but the result, coach, like,
Yeah. They were happy with it. But that game actually was when Brett Favre got his start.
Mm-hmm.
Don Mikowski got hurt. Brett came in, took over, and the rest is history.
Literally,
That's really cool.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So as we know, the Hall of Fame just passed. A lot of great, players were enshrined, well-deserved. One of them being Eric Allen, obviously one of the recent inductees. Was there a favorite story of playing against Eric Allen during your time?
I played against him. He was with the Eagles, and I think he was with the Saints as well. I played with him both times, or against him on both teams. Cool guy, could cover really well, could run. Didn't talk a lot, as far as trash talk or anything like that. Just went out and did his job and played extremely hard. And we didn't have any conversation, but I knew what I was up against when I had to match up against him.
Wow.
The AFC North, was a tough division back when you were playing, and it's still a tough division now. Or is there any like cornerback or safety that just like was really good at trash talking, got under your skin, and you just kind of like, kind of had a good time going back and forth with them?
Let me see. Well, there's a few, I'll start with Chris Dishman. I know it's an AFC, but you say AFC North, but that was Houston at the time. Chris Dishman, we had our conversations, and then of course Rod Woodson and myself, we had our conversations too. But for the most part, I'm a quiet guy. Unless you start, if you start to trash talk, I'm not gonna stop. It's just, I'll be quiet until you start it. And if you start it, then I don't know what I'll say, but I'm not gonna stop. That just motivates me. But for the most part, there was a lot of guys that at that time, I'm sure they still do it today, but it's just a rivalry, and you get up for it. You get motivated for it. You want the challenge. You welcome, the opportunity to play against the best guys, on across from you. So I welcomed any opportunity just to compete.
Was there a defender that you felt like you had that rivalry that you mentioned, that anytime you guys lined up in front of one another that you knew it was going to be, a battle every time? Was there a defender that comes to mind initially?
Yeah, there was Rod Woodson. He was always tough. Chris Dishman, even though I think he was a safety or a corner or a free safety, he didn't cover that much. But even in my rookie year, this first and second year, this guy, they were tough. Blaine Bishop, a safety, would come up, knock your block off. Just the guys in Baltimore. but it was nobody in particular, just everybody. Antonio Langham at Cleveland, was a hell of a corner. Tall, lanky, could run, could jam you. My buddy Dale Carter out there at Kansas City, in my opinion, is probably one of the best cornerbacks that I've ever gone against. And you guys drafted him. I mean, the Chiefs guy there drafted him in '92. He's probably one of the most athletic cornerbacks that I've ever gone against.
Who's got the next question, guys?
I think they're lagging. I'll take the next question. I think Corey and Austin are lagging. So, we're going to transition a little bit, Carl. Some more career reflection. How would you like Carl Pickens to be remembered?
I can't say, well, I guess I can say playmaker. Michael Irvin's a playmaker, but, I tell a lot of young guys today that you don't always have to be open to catch the ball, or have the ball thrown to you. You can be covered and make a play. My biggest thing is I always wanted to make a play, whether I was covered or wide open. My goal was to go out and make a play. My mindset was, when that ball's in the air, it's mine. And there's a lot of guys, Deion Sanders could outrun everybody, but at times you could get open and, or you can make a play. And so that was my mentality. That was my thought process to, I'm not going to blow by you and, win the 100 meters, but I'm going to make a play. So that's the approach I took. And I think for the most part, it worked out.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
So when you were elected into the 95 and 96 Pro Bowl, what did that mean? And obviously, as we know, the Pro Bowl, the effort level in some sense has gone down over the years. So when you were elected, what did it mean to you, especially in your first year being elected in 95?
Yeah, I remember that. I was hoping that I would have gone after the 93 season because I thought I had a pretty good year. But at that time, the criteria was a little bit different. We won maybe 3 out of 16 games, so the publicity wasn't there. And then that next year, I think I had over 1,000 yards, so I almost had to go because my numbers were in the top 4 or 5, and at that time, that's what they were basing it on. As well as how many games you won.
Yeah.
So when I got a chance to go that first time, I was like, I earned it. I put the work in. I like this. I can do it. I can make it happen. And I had a lot of help. Blake came in. Jeff Blake came in. We changed the offense a little bit. Darnay Scott had stepped up. So we had I had a good core group of guys around me that, everybody pitched in. So, we had a better team that year, so it was easier for me to get more notoriety. I think we had won maybe 7 games versus 3. So the notoriety was there, and I almost had to go because, like I said, my numbers were in the top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Austin.
Sorry, Matt.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. We were just going to go into the post-football career. And are there any hobbies and or teammates that you enjoy hanging out with or doing still?
Hobbies? I play golf. I ride my Harley.
Okay.
I go to bike rallies. I've got a small group that I hang out with. And I'm just now getting back into going to pro games.
Okay.
Cincinnati is about 7 hours from here. I'm in Atlanta. Knoxville is about 3. So it's easier for me to get, back and forth to Knoxville. But I'm going to more games now. And some of my old teammates, we still keep in touch. I was just up in Cincinnati a couple of weeks ago. They had a bingo fest up there. Got a chance to see some of the old guys. Got a chance to see Jeff Blake. And then I was in Knoxville last weekend. I got to see some of the guys that I played against. So for me, I think this is my 25th year being retired.
Mhm.
I'm just living, man. I've been blessed. I've been fortunate to be around a good group of people, and so I'm just taking it one day at a time.
How's the golf game looking?
Golf game, yeah, that is now that's the bad part. I've been playing golf for a while, but I just recently started taking a few lessons, and I can't believe. I guess for 20 years, I would just get up there and hit it and not even. I told the guy at my first lesson, I was like, I don't even have a pre-shot routine. So I tee it up and, he's like, well, you've got to look at 6 inches past the ball. And I was like, what is that? But I will get better. I will improve. I'm taking lessons now. So in about 6 months or beginning of next year, I'll be pretty good.
We're gonna see you on tour pretty soon, right?
No,
okay.
tour.
Right.
No way, because I don't think there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
There is.
This has to be, your head has to be this way. Your left foot has to be 90 degrees. Your right elbow has to be 42. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. Your back has to be this way. Your head, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. I was like, man, I don't get it. But it's a lot of stuff to take on. But if somebody has the patience to work with me, I could get it. But there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
Well, I know two guys up in the top right corner.
Past week.
Yeah, those guys are always golfing.
Yeah, just
they're scratch golfers.
It's just like, we scramble. We have to scramble. We're not good enough. Yeah. Like,
well, we can
so
play
like
together.
all my shots are sliced away.
Yeah, we can play together.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
If you got to go 18 rounds on putt, I got you, Carl. But yeah, those are the golfers up there.
Listen, I played a scramble 2 months ago in May. Well, whenever May was. And I'm just so used to bringing a ton of balls,
Yeah.
And the dude was like, what are you doing with all those balls? I'm like, well, it's a scramble, so you don't have to hit every time. It's like, okay, I got it. But, I said, I can lose a ball on any course. So I'm just going to make sure I have enough. But it's that's the hardest sport I've ever played or even tried to play. It's a lot.
Yeah, golf is the most humbling activity that my buddy and I ever tried playing. And you think, oh, how hard is it to get this club face and hit this little tiny ball? The most difficult thing probably that you'll ever do, especially like, oh, you can't have too much tension on the club or you rotated the wrong way. It is the most frustrating and then also therapeutic when you do it right,
Yeah. And I was talking to one of my buddies, and he's a golfer. And he's like, well, when you were practicing football at 8 or 9 years old, I was practicing golf.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just not going to be able to come out to a football field and do what you do. It's like, yeah, that put it in perspective. But, I've also been told that, you're an athlete, you have hand-eye coordination. It's going to work. Uh-huh. Well, that's not working for me. The hand-eye coordination is not working for me. But I'll get it, though. I'll get it.
Well, also, you were a great player, so you're practicing your craft during the off season. Where a lot of pro athletes now during their off season, they're golfing, and I mean, you see, I think Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, they had like a little pro amateur duo with the with Golden State Warriors. So I mean, a lot of these pro athletes, when they're off season, they're golfing. Whereas I don't think you guys were allotted the same time for those type of activities. You guys had to work on your craft day in and day out.
Yeah. So and that's the thing too. I wasn't. That wasn't my main, objective or my main goal was to get better at golf. If somebody wanted to play, I would go play, but practice, no, I'm not going to do that. And I know that's part of it. You can't get better if you don't practice. And I know that, but I still won't practice.
That's fine. Yeah. I think it's more for recreation. It's not for competition. It's just to go hang out,
Yeah. But the reason I'm taking lessons now is the guys that I played with in May, they beat me and they rubbed it in.
Oh, there we go. All right, let's get that fire relit. Let's do this.
So I'll be ready next time. Yeah.
That's awesome. So looking back at your playing career, is there one thing that you're most proud of? And it could be even at Tennessee. It can be your time at the Bengals. It can be post-career. Is there some time during your career that you're most proud of?
I think I'm most proud of playing 9 years, the total of 9 years in the NFL, because I don't know, it just something came over me this past season. A former Bengal friend of mine, we were watching the game here, watching Pittsburgh and Cincinnati play, and I'm like, man, we did that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we played pro football, but we were just caught up in that time, and I didn't realize what was happening at that time. I knew I was, a professional, but
Mm-hmm.
looking back on it, I'm like, I never thought of being retired. I didn't look at life, after, football. But when we were watching the game, I'm like, we did that,
Mm-hmm.
So it just like, man. And then I went downstairs. It's like I was looking at my pictures. I'm like, that's me.
Yeah.
So I think just being able to accomplish that. I'm from a small town, Murphy, North Carolina. We won 2 state championships in football in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to take that and transition into the University of Tennessee. We won a lot of games there. So I excelled there. And then when I got to the highest level of competition, I excelled also. So looking back on it at 3 different levels and 3 different stages, I was able to excel.
Yeah.
So that, I think, was definitely an accomplishment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that's kind of the saying, like, try to enjoy it in the moment, right? That's kind of what you have, like, looking back, you're like, I knew I was an athlete, but I necessarily didn't take it in. But I was looking, not that I was just doing it, but I was looking over your NFL statistics, and I have to say you had one of the greatest 3-year stretches that I can remember seeing, where I think you averaged over 90 catches, 13, just under 13 or over 1,300 yards, and almost 14 touchdowns a year. And so I'm curious, have you ever looked back at kind of like just that 3-year stretch, or even just that, was it the 95 season where it was like 17 touchdowns? You ever look back at that and kind of had the same moment you just did, be like, I did that?
I have. When people bring it up, I would just kind of shy away and say, but I mean, I was doing this on a bad team.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing this on a 3-13 team, 6-10 team, 5-11. So does it count for something? Yeah, but it's easy to look back and say, well, yeah, certain guys, may have had a Hall of Fame quarterback, or 2 Hall of Fame tackles, or a lot of help. Mm-hmm. Which we had good teams. For whatever reason, we just couldn't win. But what you're talking about, I was doing that, being double teamed.
Mm-hmm.
The coverage, safety over top. So yeah, I mean, I think that is something to be talked about. I'm not pushing for anything, or
right.
But I mean, I was doing this under some pretty severe circumstances.
Yeah, I do want to acknowledge when we were promoting, and we've seen several comments that really summed up what your career was, even in the 9 years it was, and that 3 years that Austin just said, that you were the proverbial him before that term was coined, because you were doing this on teams that, didn't have a great success, in terms of win-loss record, but you were still putting up stats, making a difference on the field. And I actually like hearing that you're acknowledging that as what you're proud of, and not really shooing it away. And, it's a nice little humbling thing to do, but to even acknowledge that, it's a lot of hard work. Like, you did do a lot on the field, and it shows. And, the fact that we're here talking to you about that, which is great. And that's an honor that we get to have today to just, reflect on that, I think. So,
yeah, I think my rookie year, our receiver coach, Richard Williamson, he always told us to just be concerned with the guys in this room, in our receiver room. Mm-hmm. we can't control what anybody else does outside of this room as far as the linebackers, running backs, DBs. We have to control what we can control in this room. So that was our mindset. Our goal, our job, our aspirations were to go out and make plays, And so when we take on that mindset, that's what we're driven to do. So that was my goal. Okay, yeah, we may not win, or we may go 3 and out, but if I get the opportunity, I'm going to make the most of it. So that's why I said earlier, make plays regardless of the circumstances, of the situation. When your time is called, when your play is called, make the play. And that's the approach I took.
That's awesome.
And it definitely showed, because, one of the things that I wanted to acknowledge, and I made sure to acknowledge it when we were, promoting this, you coming on, was that you were the Bengals leading franchise, the franchise leading receiver all the way up until Chad Ochocinco, whatever you want to call him now, up until he left the Bengals. I mean, you were the leader there for at least a decade, and that's incredible. So does that kind of give you like a little bit of a, I don't want to say chip on your shoulder, like kind of like, like Cody had mentioned, like, I'm him, like you were the leader for 10 years. Does that kind of give you that, like, that little smirk?
It probably does now, but at that time, like I said, I was in that moment. That was a period of time, so I didn't realize what was happening. Now that I look back, and like you just said, I'm like, I was pretty good.
Pretty good might be underselling it, but yes.
And so humble.
I made some noise. So looking back now, but at that time, it was just a lot of it was negative, because we weren't winning, like I said, 3 out of 16, 5 and 11, 6 and 12, or 6 and 10. So that wears on you, that drains you from just, you play and then you go home, and then, there's nothing to talk about. I remember, I think one of the last games of the 95 or 96 season, I think we played Minnesota and we won by a field goal. And, the reporter comes in, he's like, well, you're 3-13 or 3-12, what does this mean to you? What does this win mean to you? And I'm like, well, it means we scored more points than they did. That's what it means. That's the only thing it's going to mean, because we're not going to the playoffs. But it was just a bad time, but we were still obligated to go out and compete. And so I took it upon myself to do what I could do and not worry about anybody else.
So last one before we get into our little lightning round, let's look at the Bengals today. They got a pretty good group of receivers there right now to go with Joe Burrow. What are you seeing in today's offenses that are just completely different than when you played, and what the Bengals are doing now compared to back then?
Yeah, it's faster paced. They're still running, the same routes, posts, corners, things like that, cross the middle. They're still doing the same things, but it's just faster paced. I mean, they're getting the play in, they're calling it, and guys are getting open. You see guys wide open, and they, Joe is he's a good guy to have, and T. Higgins is right there. They've got a good group, they've got a good core that'll be together for a long time. I think that group right there, if they stay together, they stay healthy, they're going to break a lot of records, and this could be the year that. Things that can happen as far as Super Bowl playoffs, things like that. I'm sure that's their goal, but they have a window, and if not this year, next year, that window is going to start closing. So they've got to get it figured out, within the next couple of years. But they're going to be there for a while as far as those three.
So with the way that offenses are kind of, faster, as you said, Joe Burrow, as we said, at him as a quarterback, if you were on this team in your prime, like you were, obviously without all the rule changes that have favored offenses, what do you think you would have done in terms of stats, or how effective would you have been in this offense?
If not better, a lot better, because
Yeah.
and I'm trying to be as humble as I can. I mean, it's easier to play wide receiver. You don't. There's no crackback blocks. I mean, you can't hit head to head, and which is a good thing. I mean, it's safer.
Right.
So I think you're allowed to. The rules have been changed to make it easier for you to catch the ball and protect yourself. So yeah, I mean, my numbers, they wouldn't have diminished. They would just
That's right.
skyrocket, and then in turn, here comes the big signing bonus and that sort of thing.
That's right. Let them know. That's right.
Yeah.
Let them know.
So, but yeah, I mean, there always has to be, somebody before you. The guys that were before me, paved the way for me, and then the guys now, are making the good money. It's safer. It's more fun. They're having a good time. But yeah, I think in today's game, with the way I played, I don't see anything that could, stop me from making any plays. I mean, my mentality is not going to change. It is what it is. So,
Right.
If you're my opponent, then I've got to figure out how to get the ball. And so that's not going to change.
I love that.
Yeah, that's kind of going to lead into my follow-up. We asked Quentin Jammer, watching today's game, how he'd feel playing cornerback now. And so I'm going to ask the flip of you, which you kind of answered, but like nowadays, corners, they can't really put their hands on the receiver at the line. So like you're getting free releases. Like you said, you can't get hit really the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of matches the question Cody just asked. But I'm going to bump it up a little bit just because seeing some of the numbers you had and you being able to get it's heaven, right? You're thinking you're a receiver. Nobody's going to put hands on you at the line of scrimmage. I got to think like you'd be pushing a 2,000-yard season, right? Like if you just get free releases all day.
Yeah. Well, if we didn't, if we didn't go 3 and out all the time, I mean, I would have had even better numbers with the Bengals.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to even get hurt when you go 3 and out all the time. But
Right.
I think in today's game, yes, because it's just, I mean, even second, receivers and third receivers are, getting 65, 70 balls, 800-900 yards a season. 13 touchdowns. So there's plenty of opportunities to make plays in today's game. Not that it's softer, it's just safer. And I think it's just more geared toward offense, as because defense, you have to see what you hit, and there's no blind side and that sort of thing. But yeah, in today's offense, I think it would be easy pickings.
I think you would have had a couple of. I think you would have had a couple of Jamar Chase-like seasons before Jamar Chase. I think that's what I'll say.
Yeah. Well, Jamar is he's on a different level. I mean, there's a lot of great receivers out there, but he's one of the best. CD Lamb is another one. Justin Jefferson is another one. So there's a lot of good guys out there that can make plays. Also, if they've got that number 2 that's capable as well.
Right.
So you've got to have, your second guy. And then, some teams have 3 guys that have to, get the ball to 3 different guys. But I think at the end of the day, it is safer, it's easier, and the numbers are there for the taking.
Yeah. Before we get in the lightning round, I'm just curious, who is do you have an initial top 5 receivers of today's game that you would rank? Or you don't have to put them 5 through 1, but who's your top 5?
I think Jamar's there.
Okay.
CD Lamb, he's there. My favorite, I just like how Justin Jefferson plays. I like the way DK Metcalf plays. Big receiver, can run, he's physical. I just like how he plays. when he's in the right frame of mind, I like the way Stephon Diggs plays.
Yeah, he's good.
You know, I like the way he plays. I just like his approach to the game when he, you know, is healthy.
Right.
And then the guy, DeAndre Hopkins. I know he's a little bit older now, but the last, 3 or 4 years ago, I mean, this guy was on fire. I like his game. He reminds me a lot of Darnay Scott. So that would be my top 5. Not necessarily as far as numbers, but I just like the way they play the receiver spot.
That's a great top 5. D-Hop, even when he was on the Chiefs, he was still really good.
Yeah, he was still making some plays.
Yeah. So to kick off our lightning round, what was your favorite stadium to play in?
Denver.
Why?
Yeah,
this is a good one. Why is that?
Because it was cold, and I like to play around 30 degrees on grass.
Okay.
My guy.
I love it. 30 degrees, 35, just above freezing on grass. Even in Cleveland, if we played up there in the winter months. But Denver on grass, I'm ready to go.
And you were okay with the altitude during that time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was fine with it. Yeah.
What is it with between the 30 and 35 degrees that you liked playing in the cold? What was it about?
It's just because you're not sweating, once you get out there, you get to running around, you're warm.
Yeah.
So now like 30 degrees snowing, no, I don't want to do that. But once you get to moving around, the blood starts pumping and you're ready to go. And I just like that type of game, even in college, even though we had turf, but if it was cooler, that's when I really enjoyed playing.
Oh, that's really cool.
So we're kind of in the middle of there's so many good quarterbacks in the NFL right now. There's just it's starting to balance out where teams are finally starting to get their guy. Who would you want to catch a touchdown from in today's game?
Well, if I just had to pick one, I mean, you'd have to go with number 9, Joe Burrow. Yeah. I mean, you almost have to. I mean, he's the hometown guy. He's from Ohio. He's it. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, you could say him, but, I've just got to pick one. Patrick's got all the rings. But I would go with Joe because I've got to go back to Cincinnati twice this year. So, I'm going to say Joe.
Besides Patrick, that, he is a great quarterback, though, too.
He is. He's great. He'll be great. He's got a good group of guys around him. He's in the right system. He likes playing there. They've taken care of him. So, yeah.
And if that means I don't have to watch Patrick Mahomes win another Super Bowl, give me Joe Burrow all day.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
I think the Chiefs got exposed last year, man. I think they did. I think the Eagles came out and said, enough of the nonsense about the three-peat and that sort of thing. It was almost a foregone conclusion that they were going to win. But the Eagles said, that's what I liked about the Eagles. They set the tone early.
Yeah.
And basically said, not today. Maybe 8 out of 10 games you guys will win, but not today.
Yeah, that was a hard one. As a Chiefs fan, I obviously didn't enjoy the game. But as a football fan, I absolutely love the Eagle style.
Yeah.
I'm a big trenches guy. I love the physical play. So even physical receivers, physical corners, all that. I love that. So as a Chiefs fan, it hurt. But as a football fan, I enjoyed that because yes, my team got dominated, but damn, did the Eagles just that's not even a fair enough word to what the Eagles did to the Chiefs. So from that aspect, I enjoyed it. But my lightning question, I'm going to pivot a little bit because you've answered the toughest DB. So I'm going to kind of go to just like a personal favorite and hopefully a college. Maybe there's something there. But as a Chiefs fan and cancer survivor, I've always been a big Eric Berry guy. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know, did you ever get to meet him, interact with him, or have any kind of relationship with him? Because obviously my guy as a Chiefs fan, cancer survivor, all that, just kind of curious to get a read on Eric Berry and what he's like.
Yeah, I've met Eric a couple of times at Tennessee games. He's in the College Hall of Fame. I was there at that game. They presented him with the with his number on the field and everything. I got a chance to talk to him a little bit. We've been at, I think I met him also at a golf tournament in Knoxville for, I think Coach Fulmer had a tournament. He was there. Just small talk, but
Right.
real quiet, humble. But you put those pads and helmet on, he's a different guy.
It was an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also your guy, Trey Smith, out there with the Chiefs. He's a
Yeah.
Tennessee guy. Yeah. So I was
Big
kind of pulling for
baller.
the Chiefs because of him. But yeah, I know Trey a little bit. I talked to him a couple of years ago. He came to a home game in Knoxville. But yeah, Eric is a great guy. Great guy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to hear somebody Bengals related say they can root for the Chiefs a little bit, even if it's through a Tennessee connection,
Well, yeah, us Tennessee guys, we got to stick
Yeah.
together a little bit.
And we got another one this year with that D lineman, so maybe you can
That's
start
true.
transitioning over to Chiefs Kingdom a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I mean, I was a big Chiefs fan when Bieniemy was,
Yep.
I guess he was a quarterback coach or / offensive coordinator. I played with him in Cincinnati, so I've kind of followed his career. So wherever he was, that was one of my favorite teams for the moment. But yeah, the Chiefs out there, when he was there, I pulled for you guys then.
Well, hey, let's not forget Dante Thornton Jr. on the Raiders, also from Tennessee. So let's not rule out the Raiders fan base right now for that, because
Okay.
he's going to be special for the offense, I think.
Well, wherever there's a Tennessee guy, we will pull for that team unless
There we
they're
go.
playing, the Bengals.
Okay, that's fair enough.
All right, Mr. Pickens, final question. You've had the chance. You've been in Cincinnati. You've had the chance to try the Skyline Chili. You ended up in Tennessee. You had the Nashville BBQ. So are you taking the chili or are you going with the barbecue?
Well, honestly, I'm going – Skyline Chili is nice, but I'm going with – you've got to go to this place called Midwest BBQ.
Yes.
Okay.
You have to go to it. Tim and Nicole, they run this place. That's my new favorite restaurant for barbecue. It's unbelievable. I was up there a couple of weeks ago for the bingo bash thing. I got a chance to go by there. It's some of the best barbecue you'll ever eat. Midwest BBQ, I'm telling you. Skyline's nice. Nashville hot or whatever, but Tim and Nicole at Midwest BBQ, off the chain.
Yeah,
All right.
you had me a barbecue.
You had me a barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah, barbecue, right?
Yeah, I will meet you guys there. It's that good.
Oh,
Oh,
love it.
wow.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll see you there in a couple of hours, right? Dinner time's around the
It's
corner,
that
yeah?
good.
Hey,
All right.
Hey, according to the map, we're only like 3 inches away from it, so we're good.
We'll get there.
It's that good.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
that's
this has been an absolute honor, Mr. Pickens, to just talk to you, go over your career, hear some of your thoughts, and also a little bit of a humble brag, but we'll say it for you that you were a phenomenal player, and the time that you played, honestly, probably deserves a little bit more credit and praise for what you did on those teams and being able to make a hell of a career out of it. And it's an honor to be able to talk to you. So thank you for giving us your time.
Well, guys, I appreciate it. Anytime. I'm sorry for the mix-up. For some reason, I thought you guys were just an hour back, and I panicked. I'm like, "Hey, guys, I need the link." I'm like, "I'm late, but it's 3 hours, so we're good." But I appreciate it. Anytime, guys, you know how to get in touch with me. I'd be more than happy to do it again.
We'll hold you to that, because we
Absolutely,
would
yeah.
love to keep in touch and have you on again. And if you would be down for it, because we had a great time, and I'd love to keep talking. So
There is a
Do it.
couple
Maybe-
Bengals matchups with the Broncos coming up,
That's
so we
right.
may have to hit you up and have you maybe preview that game with us when we do our little pregame.
Let's do
So
it.
and we got a barbecue date at Midwest BBQ that we
I was
got.
gonna say, hey, maybe we can all do this at Midwest BBQ.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sounds like a plan.
all right, we're down
All
for
right,
it.
guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, guys. So we're going to close out the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have not, please go subscribe, like, share the channel. Thank you again to Carl Pickens for tuning in. That was a phenomenal time to talk with him. Guys, I keep getting
What a
blown
guy,
away with the
dude.
guests that we keep talking to you.
Yes.
I'm waiting to like wake up from a dream of like that never happened. And yet we just talked to Carl freaking Pickens. So
let me first off, apologies for the technology. It seemed like it got a little better here towards the end. But I would be a fool to not mention what next week brings, because it's a big show for Maddie and I.
And my dad who's watching this.
and again, thank you again to JBW Solutions LLC for the sponsorship. But Maddie, we get to talk to Matt Prater next week.
We do. I'm excited for this. I was always a big fan of Matt Prater. To this day, I'll still tell you he was the best kicker since Jason Elam. So,
and then to not leave out Eric Warfield, the Chiefs side. You know, he actually played on some, you know, with Coach Vermeil. So it'll be interesting to, you know, hear, you know, we were able to hear Derek's side of the story of playing with Coach Vermeil. He's the offensive guy, right? So now we get to now flip it, and we get a defensive player to, you know, kind of give us the rundown on what it was like playing with Coach Vermeil. So, Cody, you said it best. We just continue to be impressed with who we're getting on here. Matt, Austin, what do you guys?
I just want to keep saying, like, we know these players that we're getting a chance to interact with. We're hell of players, right? Like, we're talking to just, you know, a fraction % of people ever get to the level that they do. But my favorite part, and I think I said it last week, is like being able to see the person side of these players.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, that it's kind of eye-opening, right? Because they're obviously they have a way longer accolade sheet than I will ever put together. Mm-hmm. But like, they're also just like down to, like, they're just like us, you know, go play golf. They love their barbecue. Like, they're just people. So I enjoy seeing the people side of all these athletes while getting to learn kind of what their careers and journey were like. So I don't know. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, just getting to see them kind of like, as the show, you know, they're a little nervous at first, which is, you know, it's kind of funny because they played on like the biggest stage of all. And then they get here and they're a little nervous, but then as they go on, they just kind of open up more. And then you can tell, like, they're so excited that there's, you know, 4 of us, you know, and including the viewers that want to sit back and just listen to them tell their stories, tell their journey, what it was like, you know, and it's amazing. You know, never in a million years would I think that I'd get to do this. So, I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, you guys, what we're doing here is absolutely wild. The fact that we keep getting to talk to these great guests, and we have Matt Prater. We have more that are on the docket that we are.
That's just next week.
Yeah, that's just next week.
Next week is just Prater.
Next week.
Yeah, we haven't even, guys, football season hasn't even started yet. Imagine what that's going to look like. Oh my gosh.
There's still a chance that we get one more in the next week. So like, we just don't know at this rate. So again, hats off to Matt and Austin for you know, being able to get these guys on here. Yeah, we just got to talk to Carl Pickens. So
we did.
You know,
that's awesome.
I just, like, my stats wouldn't diminish. That was my favorite part. Is
we got to say it for him. No, dude, you would have some Jamar Chase like seasons.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, you'd be fresh.
It always makes me wonder, like, what, like you say, you know, I was on some bad teams, so it always makes me wonder, like, what if he was on like a team like the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, like, what if his team was like the Broncos and
I don't even want to think about that. He'd had a couple of Super Bowls for sure.
I mean, him and John Elway, I think.
Yeah, he wasn't going to make those Denver's team worse. I'll say that much.
He did like playing in Denver. He said it was his favorite place. So
that's true.
Awesome. So hopefully Matt Prater shares some fun stories from playing in Denver as well, and Eric Warfield, who obviously
plays in the best stadium,
had a chance to. So.
Well, hopefully Cody, they both say that Raiders week was the best matchups, because that's a great honor to hear, as Raiders week is always what they look forward to. So,
hey, and Raider Nation, stay tuned. We have some Raiders coming on this month. So
need y'all to show up for sure.
Yeah. No. So Cody, I'll let you close it out. I know you got stuff you got to do tonight. Thank you again. Work obviously is taking over most of our lives right now, but we're still able to do what we love to do, and that's give you guys a show. So don't forget to, you know, subscribe to the YouTube channel, help get us those numbers up, because again, we're just getting started with the guest list that we have. So Cody, take us home.
You got it. All right, guys. So like we said, subscribe, like, share. You can also listen to this on Spotify as well. Just search West War Room Rivals. Follow us on all social media platforms, X, Facebook, TikTok. Instagram. We're all there, all active. So please go over there. Again, thank you to Carl Pickens for joining us today. Thank you to JBW Solutions LLC, Field Ops. There's getting too many of these, you guys. I need to start having a rundown sheet in front of me. So Field Ops, and also, yeah, we need more. And also Emporia State Federal Credit Union. Thank you guys so much to our sponsors for allowing us to do this. Please go and support them. All their information is in the description and links down below. And we will catch you guys on the next War Room. So we are signing off, and we'll see you guys later.